Alright, so Scareclaw deck profile, a couple of changes I made, and I just trying to have fun with it. I've been playing this deck for quite some time now, and there's a couple of tech cards. I even tried like a super heavy samurai version where you can just bring out the Barone. Very gimmicky, but this one is so far the best one that for me in terms of my playstyle. So I'm just gonna do a quick deck profile and then possibly show some quick combos. So in terms of the main monster zone, we got the triple Reichardt, searches out your Scareclaw spell and trap cards. We're maximizing on all the Scareclaws, the Acro, Astra, and Balone, because they're pretty much, in a way, it's a one card combo. So you bring one of them out, you go into Lightheart, search the spell, the field spell. The field spell searches Reichardt, and then Reichardt will search the Arrival, which brings one back, and then you make your Triheart. One of them is the Starfrost. It's not necessary in the combo. I tried it with the Vicious Astrolaud, and that's just an extra push. I think that card is more for the Manadium, but this guy does help out as well. So if you're in a combo where you're just trying to get like the third body on the field, you can destroy your Lightheart, bring this out, and then Lightheart will special summon itself. So those are your main Scareclaw monsters. After that, you still play a Scareclaw slash Kashtira engine, which I prefer to play it. I play the double Scareclaw Kashtira. It helps out to bring out another body just in case they book a moon one. You need another Scareclaw monster on the field so you can bring out the rest of your Scareclaw. And then Unicorn unfortunately got hit in a ban list, going semi-limited, but it still really helps out. And then the other kind of support that I play would be Parallel Exceed and Zero Day. This is such a huge part in the combo, which actually brings out a lot more link monsters, and then you can go into other place. And at this part, this is the main thing that I would play. From there on, you can check out any other cards. So as of right now, what I'm doing is that I used to play Appliancer, and there's a version in there that I played which actually uses out different cards. So I use the one cloak and one boots, so you can bring out the fog blade, because it's easy to bring him out once you get the code breaker combo. And then from there, everything is like a one card combo, so everything else is kind of hand traps. Triple Nibiru, triple Ash, triple Droll to prevent your opponent from going off. And also at the same time, Nibiru, you can summon this in either attack mode or defense mode, and then bring out the token in defense mode. So now there's more monster in defense. And these guys are just normally really good cards, so as of right now. And then for the spells, we have the one Arrival. I used to play this 3, went down to 2, now went down to 1, just so I can fit some of the other tech cards. But I think what I would do is that if the Phantom Knight engine does not work out, I'm gonna boost up the Arrival and the trap card, which is the Twin Cell, to 2 each. But so far it's working out with just 1 copy. Defanging is really good. It's basically the branded loss of Scareclaw. Your link monster cannot be destroyed or targeted by card effects. If Triheart or even Lightheart, if you manage to boost up its attack and it attacks into a monster, it gets banished. Scareclaw cards, again, the field spell, 3 of them. 1 Kashtira Birth, because it does help out a lot. So those are like the Scareclaw slash Kashtira cards. So you can go off with your play. We have the Call by the Grave, triple Crossout Designator. These are really good since you play a lot of like the meta cards like Impermanence, even the Kashtira part. There's even some plays where you have Kashtira Birth and no Kashtira monster. Normally I would just cross out Designator a Kashtira Scareclaw, bring it back with Kashtira Birth, and then you go off with summoning all your other Scareclaw monster. And then from there, I play 1 Thrust and 1 Talents. I used to play 2 Thrust with the 1 Talent so I can get all the other spell cards. It makes it a lot easier, but I had to cut some cards, and these ones are the one I went down to. 1 Dark Ruler, just so if if you happen to try and go second, or if you end up going second, you can use the thrust to go into the dark ruler and then go off with your place. You don't necessarily have to OTK, you just have to control the game. And from there, you have the duster as well, so you can get it from thrust. And then for the trap card, we have the twin saw. Love this card. One of the main weaknesses of the deck is link monsters, so this actually solves that problem. But I cut down to one just because the game is going way too fast, and if you have to use the second one, that's just either you're far behind the game or you're already losing the game. So yeah, one twin saw. Double fog blade, because you can tune it out from the whole Phantom Knight engine, so it's really good. And then the double impermanence. So I decided to go cut down on the imperm rather than cutting down the hand trap, because you do have a lot of spell and trap. So if you get duster, that sucks. I'd rather have cards in my hand that I can stop the opponent. So that's the main deck. In terms of the extra deck, we have triple Lightheart. You do go through the Lightheart pretty fast. There's times where it's not a once per turn. So if you happen to get rid of the Lightheart that's in the extra monster zone, and then you tune it out, or you bring it out with having a Visa Starfrost, so you can link this off to another Lightheart and then search the field spell again. So you can just search all your field spell, knowing that they don't have the draw. So triple Lightheart, triple Triheart. I did try to cut this down from 2 to 2, but this is the main thing that you really go for. So even without the whole Kashtira banishing some of your stuff, I still like to play 3 in each. So there's that. And then the Codebreaker combo. Really love this deck. I discovered this playing the Appliancer, because you can bring out a lot of stuff when Verde Anaconda was even out. But it actually works with this deck just because of the link arrows that Triheart have. So you can utilize their effect. And then this has an effect where you can pop up to 3 spell and trap, just because once you activate this effect, it'll bring out the Swordsman and the 0 day from the graveyard, and then you have three Codebreaker monsters that are linked. So you can pop up to 3, and then this, if it does stay on the field, if it gets destroyed, you can bring it back, but it gets banished and after it leaves the field. But still pretty very good. We got the Asa and the Dark. These guys are pretty good because this can revive an Earth. So if they happen to have a Kashtira or Fenrir in the graveyard, you can bring it, you can summon it to your side, and then Fenrir will search your either Unicorn or Kashtira Scareclaw. And then the Dark is usually good for any dark monsters. You can easily run over a Dragoon, and then from there you can activate this effect, bring the Dragoon to your side of the field, so now you have an extra negate. And then for the Phantom Knight, you have the Bardiche, the Unicorn, and the Griffin. Griffin is a lot more important than Unicorn. Griffin, you'll end up having your link monster set up. Normally your board would be Triheart, Unicorn, Bardiche. So again, the main weakness of the deck is link monsters, because they can't go to defense. So the Unicorn solves that problem, because now they have to try and go into a link monster just so they can start activating their effects. So that's really helpful. And then it has the draw effect too. Zealantis, that's just a good card. You normally I would side Mind Control, Change of Heart, or even the Tactics Talents to take control of like an Appaloosa, and then link it off to a Zealantis, and then it pops. Depending on how many link or co-link you have, then the Appaloosa. So that's the deck profile. In terms of the combo, I'm gonna shuffle this, pile shuffle it, and then I'll show you guys a combo. Alright, so this part, with me testing around with all different kinds of combo, you can have so many different kinds of 5-card hand to start with, and then you can go off from there. But this is one of my favorites to see. I know Unicorn is limited to, or semi-limited, but you can still go off with just these two cards. So I just wanted to show this off, and then actually, if anything, I'm going to show you guys like a 1-card combo with just one Scareclaw monster. But I just wanted to see just show you guys like how it works with the unicorn. So you special summon unicorn defense, you activate its effect, you will search cast your birth. There it is. Because this also is a reborn, so you can bring it back. So you activate cast your birth, and if they activate monster effect, blah blah blah. Yeah, you know what to do at that part. You normal summon one of your Scareclaw monster. You link it off into your light hearts. Now the light heart will activate its effect to search. Now this is obviously assuming that you don't get hand trap whatsoever, but again, you have other cards to try and either prevent that or to try and like continue with your play. You activate the spell. Now you will get the right heart, and then the right heart, I'm just searching it just for to make it a lot faster. Okay, so you'll summon the right heart under the light heart. It will activate its effect to add this. Now you already have 3 monsters there, so what you're gonna do is link it off into your tri-heart. Now once you got your tri-heart there, you can activate the arrival, bringing back one of your Scareclaw, and then you activate the birth to bring back the unicorn. Now you have 2 other monsters that you can start linking off as well. Now this is where the code breaker engine comes in, because you have the swordsman. The swordsman will summon the code breaker 0 from hand, deck, or graveyard, which is great because even if you discard the 0 day, you can still summon it back. So you special summon that. Also, a little note that you can with the code breaker, there are times where you can summon it to your opponent's side of the field, and they actually do have effect. Like for example, 0 day, if it's summoned to a link monster that where it points to, it loses 1,000 attack. So actually Tri-Heart loses 1,000 attack, but that doesn't matter because we're going to link it off into our Berserker. Now Berserker will summon both of these guys, that and that. Now at this point, if you are that goes to graveyard. If you are going second and your opponent has spells and trap that you want to get rid of, or like a floodgate whatsoever, you can activate Berserker's effect. You can pop up to 3 because you have 3 code breaker monsters that are linked. So at this point, you will link these 2 off into a link 3. You go into Bardiche. Bardiche will activate its effect to send the cloak and set a fog blade. So that's going to be set there. Now your cloak will be banished, and you will add silent boots. Now you have a phantom knight monster, so you can actually summon this, and then from there on you'll link these 2 off into a link 4 into a griffin. Now obviously we started with 2 cards, so you'll discard 1 card and then draw because of Griffin's effect, because it's co-link. So you have that discard 1, draw 1, which is really good. At this point, you have the silent boots. You'll banish that, and then you'll add the second fog blade and then set it. So that will be your board. And then lastly, the Tri-Heart effect, which you'll bring back the acro. Now at this point, it is up to you what you wanted to do. Normally this is a good spot to summon acro, just because you're gonna add the right card for next turn, and then your right card will be special summoned on this zone, which will give you the special summon effect because of Griffin. But also at the same time, this is also a monster that's where the extra monster zone is. So normally I would summon it here, so they don't have a monster that's linked, and that wouldn't activate their effect, because at next turn you can also either link this off and then summon it back here, just so you can summon the right card there. But the safest play would be summoning the Scareclaw monster here, you add your right card, and then next turn you go off with your other play. And so now your board would be a Griffin, a Triheart. Bardiche, unfortunately, can't be Link. If you can, we would have a little bit better board. And then you still have the Birth that you can summon either the Unicorn or the Cashier Scareclaw. And then you go off from there.